Now, these are just some of the lethal weapons that have been surrendered to West Midlands Police in their most recent weapons surrender scheme. It's led to 116 items, including guns, knives and ammunition, being handed in to police. Well, I'm joined now by the Police and Crime Commissioner, David Jameson. Thank you so much for joining us. So tell me about this scheme then. How effective has it been?
Well, firstly, this May has been one of the worst times we've had for violent crime, and we've seen a lot of knives and guns being used. But this surrender has brought in 34 lethal weapons already from the streets, and that's 34 weapons that won't be used in crimes from now on.
You mentioned May and how terrible it was for violent crime. It was dubbed by one newspaper as the month of madness. We saw 242 crimes involving knives and 19 guns discharged in May alone.
Well, the police have taken very tough action on the ground, as you'd expect. A number of people have been arrested, a number of weapons have been seized. But you know, we've got to do more than this. You don't arrest your way out of these problems. And we're doing a lot of work now with schools, and we're doing a lot of work with young people. The Chief Constable and I do a launch with schools about the dangers of knife crime for young people, actually educating them so they don't actually go out and try to use weapons or try to defend themselves with weapons.
Just finally then, one last question. What would you say to people who, having seen all of these weapons that have been on the streets, having seen the terrible violent crime that's been happening over the last few months, what would you say to people who think that you've lost control of the streets?
I would say to them, this is a sign that we are taking that tough action that's needed. We're not going to allow criminals to control our streets. The police will police our streets, and that's what the people want in this area. And whilst I'm doing the job, I'll ensure that happens.
Thank you very much. Stay with us here on West Midlands Live. We're finding out more about this latest gun surrender.